music no one can ever refuse it. Pulsating, vibrating, reggae, reggae, reggae. Very sky, rock, steady, mental, a quadrillion, a cool minute.
So good morning to the listeners and viewers of the Real Stuff podcast. Today is Friday, and on Friday we have Poetry Corner. And today we have some special people, special guests out of Belize. And these are Belizean poets. And today they are going to do their poetry. They're going to introduce themselves to us and do some poems for us too. So good morning, Margaret. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine for the
Yeah,
most part.
I know it's supposed to be afternoon in your country, right?
No, it's 10 a.m.
Oh, it's 10 a.m. Oh, yeah, I forgot that we are an hour ahead of you. Yeah, so it's still morning.
Yes,
So how is it in Belize? Bright?
bright and
Sun?
sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, sun is shining brightly.
Okay, so tell us who is Margaret and then read us some of your poetry, you know?
Okay, so actually, I started writing in primary school, I'd say probably the age of 9, but I got more into it in high school at the age of 15. Um, I've always been this person that like to observe, and then I would observe even from the other person's perspective, and I would write from that perspective as though it would have been from me, coming from me. And later on, after I left high school, I went into nursing, and I think that was where I did most of my writing because it was an outlet with a lot of the stressful work. I found myself writing a lot in getting into that career, and from there, that was my outlet. So I was a part of the founding member of the Belize Poets Society. We started back in, I think it was 2005, I think, somewhere around there. And we had our weekly shows at a little bar out on the seafront. And thereafter, the group went kind of quiet. But back in 2013, I found, or at least I saw an opportunity with 2 of the other poets that from the previous group, and we decided to try start again. And that was what we did in June of 2013. We started under Spoken Word 501. And since then, we've been doing poetry every 2 weeks at different venues. Well, we had stable venues, but after that venue would close afterwards, we'd get another venue, and we've been moving around for a bit. And then the pandemic came, and that was what really gave us that halt for a while. But we've tried some online at time, and now for this year, we started back with the library as our main venue, and now we're back to once a month doing our poetry.
Well, we are the Real Stuff podcast. We are happy to have you here.
Thanks. I believe, as I said, we connected on the Real Stuff podcast once before. I remember Miss Bev had done several, but for me, I had one episode that I had joined with you all, because as I said, the time at 10 a.m. it's really kind of difficult for us here because of the working class. The majority of us at that time is at work. So we're glad to be here though. We're glad to be here. As the poetry group, right? I'll just give you a little bit about the poetry group. Spoken Word 501. We've published at least four collections. as a group, and we plan to publish some more. It was our idea to publish a book at least every year on our anniversary. But as I said, the pandemic was what halted us, and so we should be back on track. I think by next year we should have another publication, but that's it for the group. And for myself, I have 2 publications, and I'm working on the third.
Okay, that's great. So let's hear something from you then.
Okay, so this one is entitled Meant to Be. Rosa Parks was one brave woman. She stood for what was right. Martin Luther was assassinated, but he didn't lose the fight. Some of the greatest men in history had sprung from our race. Yet through the years, our racial struggles have kept its steady pace. And even though we were the seeds thrown among the thorns, we've rooted strongly and survived. We did not accept forlorn. Our existence is not mere mishap. We were meant to be. There is a charted course for us, as Black as we may be. That's from the anthology Reality and Beyond.
Yes.
Wow.
Very interesting. That's good. Love it. Yes, so good morning, Afeni. Am I pronouncing that right?
Because it's Afini.
Afeni. Okay. Yes, so who is Afeni?
Yes. So, Afini, I'm currently spoken word one. I've been writing poetry from before that, before I discovered I would always like writing. I've always loved reading and writing. And so when I discovered poetry was even better, I was always writing poetry in class, writing poetry about anything I was going through or any issues that I saw around that I wanted to speak on. I was able to do that through poetry. And then I remember one day I was looking on Facebook and trying to see what, I literally just looked up the word poetry and I saw the spoken word 501 group. And I saw that they were having one of their performances, and that's how I went to their first show, and just how I managed to get myself in the group and just be around such lovely people like Miss Margaret, who continue to like fuel and drive that love of poetry. So it's been so great being a part of the group and being a part of things like this, where we can come together and share poetry. So I have been writing for a while. I am in either, I think I'm in one of the, I know I'm in one. I'm trying to remember if I'm already in 2 of their anthologies. And I'm working on doing my solo book, and I've started creating videos for my poetry as well. I have a video that I'm supposed to put out today for one of my poems that I'll be reading for you in a bit. And so it's just lovely being able to have this space with poetry as well as with people around me who like poetry, like the spoken word 501 group.
So okay, so what have you got for us today?
So the poem I have, the one I'm doing the video for, I'll be posting later, Caribbean Girl. Dear Caribbean Girl, may you treat your life like your granny's house. Tell them they are free to come inside or stay outside, but they can't up and down, in and out. Treat all your endeavors like a recipe. Just keep putting in until the spirit tells you to stop. May you keep your mind as free and as loose as your waistline. Understand that life will be like Juve. It will be messy and colorful, and because of that, it will be fun. May you bear confidence proudly like your country's flag. May you fling around positivity as you fling both ways. May you carry around a different type of energy in every room and space that allows you to light up and mash up the place.
Wow.
Thank you.
So this is the one that you're going to do the video on today, right?
Yeah, I already have the video and everything. It's just to be posting it on my social media platforms later today. And that's just gonna be the start of it, because I've been looking to do that for a while, but I finally decided to go ahead and do it. So I'll be posting it today, and there'll be a lot more points that I'll be giving out with.
Okay, we just got Jemuel that came in the room, but I'm not seeing Jemuel. Are you there? Are you still there? Flavors, can you see Jemuel?
Yeah, he's up, but he needs to unmute. Unmute, please, Jemuel. Please unmute. His video is off and his audio is off.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes. Good morning.
Welcome.
Morning, Jemuel.
Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Yes, we have started, and we have Margaret and Afeni with us. So, just a quick question though: who is Jemuel? And I can't pronounce your last name, so you can just tell us your full name.
Okay, my name is Jemuel Roberto.
Robert, too.
Okay.
Yes. I am currently writing under the pseudonym Soul Chat. And my mantra is Soul Chat is the master of the art of heart speak.
Oh. Love that.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you know, since we are into the poetry right now, just give us one of your poems then.
Sure. I've been writing a lot about a lot of different things. Does it matter how far back I go?
No, 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 no.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go with this one, Decisions. This was 2022. Decisions. Seems such a long time ago. Yet, here we are. I've not much to say today, but I have to tell you, I care about you still. "2023 happened and I flaked into places thought we'd fallen apart, but then you handled me for forgetting your birthday and I realized you cared too. I want you to know you're the constant conversation coming out of my mouth. Your name is always on my lips so much. If somebody else kissed me, they would taste you. I think you could find better, but I'm pretty sure I won't find any other, so I don't know why we're still fooling around. Our mutual track are all rooting for us. So I'm looking forward to returning for my sweet mother and some stay home. I love you. It took all the earthquake for me to shake and realize that no matter who I allow in or out my life for whatever reason or season, they can't touch you. There's always that place where only you will sit. I'm not really trying to write a poem or anything, but I just want to be with you. All these people want to know why I'm smiling so much. It's crazy. Or situation that I deal. But I still love you and I think of you every day. Decisions.
Wow. Well, maybe you could have retitled that by saying "For the Lover in Me." Yeah, I'm hearing some background noises.
Possible.
I'm hearing background noise from your phone, from your place, Jemuel.
I'm not sure. I'm in the middle of a ward right now.
Jem is at work, so he might be hearing.
Yeah. All right. Let's cut off your audio until we get back to you. Then, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Margaret, back to you until someone else shows up.
Okay,
Samuel,
so
could you mute, please? Yes, thanks.
okay, so one of my collections is entitled "Of Poets and Poetry," And this is actually a collection of poems that it either talks about poetry or it talks about the poet. All right, so one of these pieces I entitled Addicted to Pen. I inhale the sticky goo, burning lyrics on white walls we call pages. One word, one phrase, and there I go, running for my pen, just needing to write to numb the pain of piercing lyrics torturing my brain. Whether it's emotions or deep conversations, it teases my hunger, leaving me to crave, till finally I get to unload, lost in the inhale of ink. I'm addicted to pen.
Oh. Oh, you need to just do that and put it on a reels or something. Or
Yeah,
Instagram or that I mean that's
my
real yeah, go ahead.
my thing with I write, but I'm not really good at reciting. And so I'm practicing on that. And once I get there, then yes, I will eventually make some posts on them, because even when I ask other people to do my poems, they don't really know where to break it, where to put the emphasis,
True.
like what I'm envisioning in my mind. And so it's still not the same, and having it just flat out on the paper, I think it would speak much more if they would hear me deliver it. And so I need to work on my delivery.
Okay, no, I know writers have that problem. Myself, I have that problem. I write poetry, but I don't like reciting them. But but when you do works like that, that is so profound, then I guess you are the one who have to present it yourself.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So Fanny or Fanny, that word that name I've never heard the name before, so it's been giving me a problem.
I get that a lot. It's fine. Okay, so I have another one from Chivalry. This is one of the first ones I did and recited with the group. A bit of a long one, but typically a fan favorite. So Chivalry. They say chivalry is dead. I say no. I say no for the old couple on the bus, nestled in each other's arm laid across chest as if protecting their hearts from harm. They say chivalry is dead. I say no. I say no for the gentleman who opened the door for me. They say chivalry is dead. I say no. I say no for the man who gave up his seat every time a woman entered the crowded bus. No regards for the miles for which he stood. He only knew he was doing what a gentleman should. They say chivalry is dead, and I say no. I say no for the couple celebrating 60 years anniversary who still look as happy as can be. They say chivalry is dead. I say you're probably right. For the men that make it their mission to make women feel uncomfortable at night. I say sure for the men who stare, scream, catcall, and do everything else that they know is not right. They say chivalry is dead, and I say yep. I say yes for the man who thinks following me home is the surefire way to win my heart. I say yes for the man who thinks grabbing me without my consent is a great way for our relationship to start. They say chivalry is dead, and I'm nodding my head. I merely nod because answering back provokes the man yelling expletives. Because responding and reacting means he wins. Because I can for pretty girl, sweet girl, to never mind. I can hear the death announcement now. In the arms of the angels, play softly in the background. Time of death unknown, cause of death unknown, and autopsy must be carried out. Still don't know when chivalry died. Maybe chivalry died with Michael Jackson. Maybe chivalry was buried with the only person who would ask Annie if she was okay. Maybe chivalry died along with Robin Williams, because the manners adolescents Miss Doubtfire tried so hard to implement. I wandered around cemeteries in search of the grave, because certainly I definitely needed to pay my respects. Maybe I would leave the flowers that I could never receive. I searched Cemetery Road, Homeland, and even 13 miles. I couldn't find the grave. I ended up making a trip to the hospital with intentions of checking the morgue. Still was not there. I sat on the curb in defeat, and the man limped up to me, politely asking if I was okay. though it was clear he could barely stand on his own feet. After receiving reassurance, he places his hand over the shoulder of a girl who he leads into the hospital with his best limping foot forward, opens the door for her. As if the blood running down his leg was nothing in comparison to the blood that flowed from his heart that beat solely for her. I have come to a conclusion. Chivalry isn't dead, just a bit injured. He's seen and been through some real stuff. But he is there and alive, and for the most part well. Though from what I have seen, his hospital bills must be hell. Thank you.
So in other words, you're saying that chivalry is now suppressed by many.
Yeah. It's trying its hardest, but
yes, that's very interesting. Very interesting work. Okay, we have Shakira with us. Good morning, Shakira. Shakira, are you hearing me?
Shakira, could you unmute, please?
Speaking to?
Shakira.
Well, this is River.
River of Fire. Now I just saw a name, the name come up as Shakira. Okay, River of Fire. Well, welcome to the Real Stuff Podcast, Poetry Corner.
Yeah.
So let us hear, who is the River of Fire? Tell us something about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Belizean, born in Belize. I traveled around the world, and I've been writing poetry since I was 11 years old. My poems are not skilled, they're inspired. I can't write a poem that I desire. I write poems that other people inspire. So a lot of my poetry is about other people's situations and not mine. I have a few poems about myself, but not a lot. How much poems may I present?
Well, for the time being, we're just doing one by one, going around in a little circle.
Okay.
I don't know what your time is like.
Okay,
So,
well, I have time.
We'll give you an opportunity to read too, since...
Okay, well, I'll start with my introduction poem. A lot of people know me as River of Fire. It is my name. Harley Evan Byrne translates from Old English, German, and Creole to mean River of Fire. So my pen name is my given name, my government name. The poem I'll say is called, Do You Know What is a River of Fire? Do you know what is a river of fire? That the lava, magma, will reach the state of plasma, stronger than atomic power, shoot from a volcano, from the planet's center. No bend, no curve. You could take my word. This river flow forward. Negotiate, that's absurd. That no smoke, the fire. Another joke that me pick the future. That time for honor retire and make way for the younger. Fire burn straight through. Either still nor red nor blue. I follow the Constitution true. We live in hypocrisy too. You know what our river of fire? That the lava, magma, will reach the state of plasma, stronger than atomic power. We shoot from the planet's center, from a volcano. Fire burn straight through. Either still nor red nor blue. That our river of fire.
Well, that sounds like a lyrics I could have put to a song.
Yeah, powerful.
Yeah, I love the rhymes and the rhythm,
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do a second one, and then I get back to Jemuel.
Okay, the second one is one I wrote about justice. It's called Alienation. And some of the poems I write are acrostic poems, which the title is in the word alienation. So if you follow the poem, you hear me say each line, okay?
Yes.
Ask of life, a clue to living, taking, giving, Listen to strife, review believing, hating, loving. Into the cosmos I stare, from my eyes a tear. Earth, my mother dear, consumes my heart in fear. Negroes what they call me, but they don't recall, see, a human stands before thee, who till death shall never be free. That you are a slave too, like a mockingbird, you. I am your reflection true, in 1,000 years or two. Observe my trail of chains across the sands of time. Now all that remains are in the stars' design. By River of Fire.
Oh, that's profound, man.
Thank you.
Really
Inspired by
profound.
the ancestors.
Yeah. So, Jemuel. Flavors, is
Yes,
Jemuel still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your time.
All right, this poem is about specifically self-harm. I wrote this inspired by the lecture that I was having in the last part of nursing school. We were talking about mental conditions. This is Scarred Reasons Why. Easy blood numb, let's draw a line. How else can we express these emotions? Thing makes me feel alive. I'm dying inside, but nobody knows it. I hate the way I feel and wish these feelings would leave, but no one seems to be paying attention. Be blood numb, please help me. The first line has healed. Let's draw another and another, and several more above, below. Dark colored long sleeves hide the parallel mark of shame down my forearm. Looks scary, doesn't it? Until I am discovered. What you don't understand is that this harm soothes the hurt. It's the externalization of my inner pain. I've missed the veins time after time and left the scars to show. Blood numb, let's draw a line in flesh. We cut to live, not cut to die.
Okay, that's it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you. So, Margaret, back to you. Just tell us a little bit more about what is happening presently with the Belizean Poet or the Belizean Poetry Society. Margaret?
Okay, yes, with Spoken Word 501. So as I said, we're currently, since we've had, I think, 2 shows, 1 show already since the beginning of this year. We've teamed up with the Turton Library. That was Miss Terry that you saw signed in. The spot where River of Fire is connecting with us is at the library in downtown Belize. And so we meet there once a month on a Friday to do our poetry from 6 to like 7:38 in the night. And hopefully we're planning to, as I said, to start work on another collection coming out of our poetry group as well. We just need to get back on track. It's kind of slow at this time because a lot of our members has moved away because of work. And after the pandemic, a lot of changes has happened. And so these people have connected with us. We're still connected online, sort of, but we're not doing much online activities. So this morning, I actually had like 7 or 8 people that were supposed to join in online with us, but they're all at work, as I said. We have so many different career paths in the group, and I think it's a bit of challenge. And then we also have the election coming up. So 3 persons could not connect because of the election coming up. And one of our main members has an issue currently with their union. So it's a lot of things going on, but we realize that at this point in time in our country, it is important for us to try to keep this fire alive, because people need more outlet, especially the younger generation coming up. They need to get away.
I was just about to ask you if have the society done any work in the schools, in primary schools, high schools, workshops, anything like that?
So for the school, unfortunately, just like day before yesterday, one of the teachers called me from one of the high school because they were having a poetry contest, and they wanted me to go in and be a judge, which I couldn't do. But I plan to reconnect with them at some point soon, and to also open up to the other schools to try to recruit members into our poetry group. We've been talking about this even before the pandemic, and it is something that we need to do to get more people involved. I think what happened is that we're not out there enough for people to know that the group still exists and that we're still active at this time. So we have a spot on one of our morning shows, Sun Up, and we're supposed to be there next Friday on the Sun Up show to promote the show that will occur later that evening. What we do for the show, we have one poet that we select as the MC. And so on our flyer, we will put the picture of that poet and a quote from that poet on the flyer, and then that person would take over the evening. And so they're responsible that even if we don't have enough poets coming up, they're the one responsible to fill in all the slots, as many poems as we need to complete at least an hour show, right? So that's the way we're taking it, and hopefully we could get back on track to what it was before the pandemic.
So just are you connected to any other poetry society in the Caribbean?
Not quite. We have, like, for example, Miss Bev. I think she was the one that connected you to us.
Yes,
Miss Bev, and we have KO. Those two are the ones, like, in the group that would reach out and look around for opportunities and poetry shows and things like that, and then bring it back to the group for us to see if we could tap in. But we don't really have like to say we're a part of a bigger group or anything of that sort, though we would definitely welcome those opportunities once it arises, no?
Well, you are part of a big group, Real Stuff Podcast, Portugal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that group is very big now, getting bigger and bigger.
Okay, so how many members?
Well, what
following? You have a following, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
we talk to poets in Trinidad and Barbados. We have Jamaican poets, obviously, and we have poets over Africa.
And where are you? Where are you based?
Well,
Port is in Miami. I'm in Jamaica.
Okay, all right. Powerful connection.
Oh yes, oh yes. And like Courtney said, we have poets from all over Africa. Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, all over the place.
That is
And
nice.
we
So
have diaspora poets who are in the US, UK, Canada. So we have people all over.
Okay, so what I was trying to understand with this, right? You have the Zoom meeting, you have this Zoom connection, and you're having the Belizean Poets on at this time. So this stream is being shown somewhere else. Is there a stream that is, for
Well,
example,
it's
like
not, no, it is not live yet, but within a day or two, it will be posted on YouTube.
okay, I get it. So
It's, YouTube
what
forever.
okay, so because what I wanted was, knowing that every Friday you have poets, then I would like to tap in to see those shows with the other poets. And so for
Oh, yeah.
that, I would need to check the YouTube you're saying.
No, we can send you.
Oh,
You can just leave your contacts with me, and I can send you the link each Friday.
No, but
Okay.
better than that.
No.
Better than that, Courtney. Better than that, Courtney. You need to subscribe to our channel, and YouTube will send you a notice every time we have a show.
Yes,
posted.
well, that is what we need, because if I get the link, then it would be as if I'm in the show. But what I wanted to be an audience, I wanted to see how
No.
so that would be the subscription.
What you need to do today is to subscribe to our channel. We'll send you the information. You just subscribe.
Sure.
And it's free. And every time we put something up, YouTube tells you.
Okay,
Automatic.
so yeah, so I didn't know it was YouTube. That was why I was asking, where is it? So
Yeah.
send that to us, to me, and then I will share it in the group so that you could have more subscriptions, and then we could follow
we need
closely on
the
what is
subscription.
happening.
No, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely. This
And
is really
we
nice,
also,
though.
Yeah, we do other things apart from poetry.
Okay.
Poetry corner is just one section that we do. We do cooking. In fact, we have a lady from Belize who does cooking with us too.
I guess I need to tune into that, because I need to learn how to cook.
What's your name again, Courtney?
Margaret.
No.
No, the person that cooks.
Oh, Ivy Flores.
Okay.
Yeah. You know her?
No.
Okay. And
Yeah.
we have cooks in Barbados, in Jamaica. We have chefs from all over too.
Okay. All right. It's nice. So
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, Margaret. So let us move back to some poetry, though.
Sure.
Oh yes.
So I have one here. It's kind of long, but it will be my last poem, I guess. It's a new poem. It's entitled A New Poem. Today I'll recite a new poem. And just to tell you a bit about it, first of all, it's long, written in many different places, like on the bus, to and from work, on my lunch break, and even on work time. But don't tell my boss, because he might consider a decline in my salary. I also wrote it in my kitchen, in the bath, in my bed, when I'm about to rise and before retiring. Oh, and also in my dream. And in case you're wondering, yes, I talk and write in my sleep. As to recreating, no, I don't go to the clubs or parties, or I'd be writing there too. Absolutely no restrictions to me writing this poem. So when I go to the movies, yeah, I'm writing. And you may ask, who takes a long pen and paper to the movies? Well, if no one else does, I do. And a lot of you know well you've been sneaking things into the movies. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I write that in my poem too. Then when I go to the park, that's when I write my best, because I get to reminisce and the inspiration flows. And coming to events like this, even now, in fact, I was just adding a few more lines on my way over. Now, I started writing this poem a long time ago, even before I started writing. I took the time to capture flashes from the far recesses of my psyche. Even my mother is amazed at me remembering, but the evidence is there, it's written, which takes me back to the beginning of this poem. It started with my 1971 poem. By the way, that was a great year. FYI, that's the year I was born. And it includes my childhood bliss poem. She's not a dancer poem, and my poetry is poem, which encircles all aspects of life, and poems expressing present day struggles and strife. Like In These Streets poem, This Is Not a Love poem, My Day in Court poem, What Will It Profit You poem, and more personal and emotional pieces like Don't Come Looking for Love poem, Liberation Anew and Maxborough Road poem, My Me, Myself and I poem. And just so you know, that's not a selfish poem. Then there's the deep poem, the written to make you think poem, like If I Fall poem, What If poem, Ebbing Tide, the unveiling and fads and fancies poem. Then as to the moods of this poem, when I'm sad, I write. When I'm happy, I write. When I'm confused, I write. When I'm just too amazed to write, I write. When I'm dumbstruck and have a writer's block, I write. When I don't feel like writing, I write. And when there's nothing to write about, I write. So as long as the clock goes on ticking and the moods keep on swinging, I can go on writing and reciting my new poem. But I was told I have just a few minutes left on this stage. So I'll move on to tell you about the title Rage. Now, this was kind of difficult to come up with, but after that explanation about the poem, I think I'll understand why I had to battle with titles such as On the Bus poem, To and From Work poem, Lunch Break and Work Time poem, and Don't Tell My Boss poem, In the Kitchen, Bath and Bed poem, On Rising, Retiring and In My Dream poem, Talking and Writing in My Sleep poem, and I don't go to clubs or parties poem, but I do go to the movies poem, Seeing the Things That You All Do poem, and In the Park poems, Coming to Events Like This poem, and Retracting Back to the Beginning of This poem, As My Sterile Lung Screams for Air poem, Every Now and Then poem, Her Soul Moving Gracefully to the Rhythm poem, Poetry Is poem, Encircling All Aspects of Life poem, Present Day Struggles and Strife poem, Where Vengeance is Greater Than Life Itself poem, Martin Luther, Marley and Shakespeare poem, Tried and Convicted as a Result of My God-Given Beauty poem, Your Father Refuses to Admit You're the Seeds of His Loins poem, My More Personal and Emotional Pieces poem, My Heart is Wax Cold and Void poem, Pulling Myself to Freedom poem, Facing the Dawn of That Freedom poem, After the Walk on a Lonely Road poem, Me by My Side Trying to Answer My Questions and Console Myself poem, Like There's No One Else in This World poem, and the deep poems, If I Should Get Caught Up with Worldly Pleasures poem, and the Thought Eating at My Brain poem, Embalming the Frame of My Existence poem, Invading Your Dreams poem, Like a Painting Frozen in Time poem, and the Mood Swinging poem. Now, it was too difficult a decision to entitle this poem, so I finally decided to call it My Life poem.
Wow.
I love this. I love this. I could listen to this all day.
I love the rhythm on that one, Miss Margaret.
Thanks.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yes, Fanny, it's your time.
All right, 1 second. All right. So this one is called The Night. A childhood of bullying, but best believe I was raised right. My dark complexion often compared to the night. I often looked at the dark night skies as tears slowly rolled down my face as I prayed no one would hear my cries. I often thought that's all I was, the darkness of the night. I accepted the bland comparison with sadness, but no fight. As I grew, I obtained an appreciation for the night sky. I found the beauty in it in more than one way. I started appreciating the way the full moon graced the sky. I found happiness in the stars that lit up so high. I saw how nice the clouds looked against the dark hue, and soon I realized that the sky wasn't even black, just a dark blue. I am the night, I realized. The comparison fit more than I and we acknowledged. I am the moon that comes out earlier as if it would never be too soon. I have craters, but I am immaculate land that few will have the privilege to set foot on. My full potential often does not show as I go in phases, but when I do show up fully, it is seen as a great anomaly, a sight to put you in a daze. I am the sun that hides behind the moon, giving off its shine. I am hidden, trying to be suppressed, but it's impossible, for the sky is mine. I am a blazing heat, unable to be ignored. I am the streams of light shining on the blonde, rocky surface, allowing it to be adored. I am so much more. I am the tide being pulled onto the shore. I am black, I am the moon, I am the sun. I am so much more. Before you ask me a what and a why, just remember, I am the entire night sky. Thank you.
Wow. Wonderful. So, and a final word before we go, because we're now just gonna do it and try to end the program. So give us a perspective then, on what you envision the Poetic Society and the Belize Poetic Society to be going, which direction or what you'd like to see.
I definitely would like to see it grow more. I know there's been a lot of stunts, especially with COVID, because I feel like it was just getting into the groove of things when COVID came. Like I really enjoyed the venue we had it before when we were having the bigger shows. And when COVID happened and everything opened back up, that place no longer even exists. So that's not there anymore. So it's kind of sad to see all the places that have been lost, or, where the group used to go before. But it's also great that the group has also stayed throughout that. Yes, it's been shaken up, especially since all the members are in adulthood. Everybody has careers, jobs, families that they have to take care of. So it's nice when people still do manage to come together and we still can do things like this. I do think we can grow a lot this year, and I do think we will, of course. And I think a lot more young people might join. I think that's something I'm going to work towards too, especially with sharing my poetry and letting people, making sure I'm sharing the flyers and everything, and letting people know that this is the space that facilitated it for me, and it's a welcoming and opening space. Because I remember I was so nervous the first time I came around, and certainly you're around people who are older than you and you worry if you belong in the space. But I've always felt welcome since day one, and I just want to be that for the other people who can join the group as well. So it's just hoping that other young people come and making sure I'm a welcoming force for them as the group grows, and also hoping for myself in terms of my poetry journey, that I finally do my book this year that I've been putting off a bit. So I'll be working on that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'd just like to take this time out to recognize Kiran, or how do you pronounce that name? Kiran?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Welcome to the Real Stuff podcast. So introduce yourself and just give us a poem. Because we're coming down to the close, and I don't want you to be left out.
Okay, Kieran Gabriel, also Kill the Assassin. So the poem that I am about to share is I am a force to be reckoned with, the truth to zero. Right now, I can start again. No, I think I'll do another one. A woman's soul is the alpha of life. She goes beyond the duty of mother and wife. Her blood, her story, she the sacrifice, so that the nation remains not having to pay the price. Women worldwide are etched in history, shattering barriers despite adversity, but some rather keep the truth shrouded in mystery. Free spirits oppressed in this mortal society. Their voices gone, transforming into objects, but these very same objects save many men from their nonsense. They say when you educate a woman, you educate a nation. Well, Malala paid the price for that education. With a bullet to the head, they left her for dead. I am Malala, I am Malala, I am Malala, the world chants instead. Maya Angelou, I know why the cage bird sings. Woman power, girl power is now a universal king. That every woman can be queen with or without a thing. We just gotta let them fly, even with broken wings. Each woman the future, but we apply that to the present. We work from the now to enjoy the fruits of accomplishment. Our mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, and friends will forever be our heroines. Beb Smith got to the laugh and they make a whole pile of nice. Sarah and Doodoo darling, and they can't imitate even if you try. Marie Sharp, her products are my choice. Her pepper got my rice and beans, it tastes nice. I stand on the foundation these women built, unmoved like Rosa Parks, and thought them spark. Rosa sat so that Martin could walk. So bear that in mind the next time you hear Dr. King talk. Rising power to all my sisters who fought for my freedom, because without you, drivers of change, my life, this poem will never be born. That poem is called Her Story.
Okay, thank you. River of Fire.
Yes, sir.
River of Fire. Are you there still?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, let me hear something from you. No?
Okay. I wrote this when I was 11 years old. It's called Life, like Margaret's poem. Who are we? Why can't we see? We're like the bee, the bird, and the tree. We're made of dirt. I prefer the word earth. We are of Terran birth. We are not holding forth. We are life everlasting, living in our passing. We've created our own casting, and I see slavery lasting. Who is human? Man, child, or woman? We are what's proven. Why are we not moving? We're like the stars, Venus or Mars, yet we continue to scar our children in unnecessary wars. We are the thought that counts in different amounts. We've discovered and found, yet continue to discount. Who is God divine? Mother Nature or Father Time? We are our own design from the same universal line. We're caught up in confusion, a high and grand illusion. We build prisons for our children and enslave with education. We construct temples to heaven, don't consider life a given. We were given paradise to live in. Now we live and die in subjugation. By River of Fire.
Yeah, I love it. So let's do a quick last word as we trying to close down in a few minutes.
Final words, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm sorry I was a bit late, but there was a parade on the streets of young children. And so it held me up. I couldn't cross the bridge. But thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you. So, Jemuel. Jemuel, are you there?
Here.
Yeah, let us hear from you.
All right. One of the running problems in spoken word 501 is untitled poems sometimes, so this one doesn't have a title. It goes like this. Unwanted, wicked trees from evil seeds. How much longer will I have to be uprooting weeds? I guess it will be an issue until I leave this neighborhood. Nevertheless, until then, I'll be thwarting the goals of evil men who would like to achieve in my backyard, because I don't eat those little almonds. I refuse to let my soft fruits be destroyed by simple sour sowing. So all these shoots will be disconnected at their life source. Let only what I want grow. This earth is fertile and indiscriminate. So as the farmer, I choose what will be allowed to survive in the plot of my destiny. I may not be always able to stop the evil seeds from being planted, but God forbid if I allow the thorns of unwanted trees to choke the life of my endeavors.
Wow. So, so you just want to say a few words to us before we leave out?
Sure. As my colleagues have also said, thanks for having me. I too am working on my books. I should say I was thinking of doing one book, but I believe I have enough material for at least 3 books. I'm going with Of Life, Love, and Longing. So each one of those L's will be a book. Life will be the social issues. Love will love speak for itself. And the longing are those that are special poems, the poems that I think come from my overthinking sometimes. So I am really looking forward to publishing. I finished my degree and I'm working now, so I will move on to the next one, which is publishing.
Okay, that's great, man. Wish you all the success in that endeavor. So, Kiran, I'll give you an opportunity to do another poem before we get back to Margaret, and then we close out. So, Kiran. Kiran?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm thinking of
Okay.
the next poem to do. So I think I'll reattempt I am. I am a force to be reckoned with. The serum to ailment, the spark of tomorrow. Uptight I may seem, bad vibes, spoil sport, righteousness, my belief, enlightenment, daily stride. The enemy of your eyes am I to those who are programmed you. Don't ask, just do it. But I'll be like, nah, this ain't Nike, stand back and get check, see. George gave me the beat, so rhythm to life, hip life, the soul of Ghana, the struggle of the favelas, the black fish shines over all. The bass in my voice set foundation for leaders to rise on. And I'm not talking about the politicians and the missionaries. Here is dedicated to the outcast, the confused and misused, the backs of those you wipe your feet on. The commoners of gold, the heirs to reparation. I fly as flag, concentrating on all necessary. Viva la revolución, viva la raza, viva el poder, el pueblo. My secret goes on, life after death, living like water. Catholics call me Stephen, so sinners cast the first one. I'll take your bullets. Society beware, for I break mountains and chains, for I bring about change. One word and a rhyme. Listen and hear the truth chimes. And I would also like to thank you for the opportunity for us to share our poetry on your program. And I also reiterate what everyone said before me, as well as we look forward to having more of these dialogues and these discussions moving forward once you also grant us the platform as well.
Problem, this platform will always be available, to our Caribbean poets. So thank you very much. So Margaret, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, it's because we're about to close down, and being the woman in charge or the boss lady of the Belizean Poetic Society, just give us a few words. And
yes. Okay, so I would like to say on behalf of the Spoken Word 501 Poetry family, we definitely welcome this invitation. We're glad to be a part of it, and we're looking forward to more collaboration in the future. As we said, our goal is to make the group bigger, to enlarge the group, and as Afeni rightly said, reach out to the younger generation to have them come in and give us their twist on what poetry is to them. Would definitely brighten up the spot. So we look forward to more connections with you all. And thank you very much.
you're welcome. So Flavius, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
Just thank you all for being with us today and give us all these lovely poems. I'm a connoisseur of poems. I listen poems. I have a question though. Margaret, what time will be best for you, for us to have something like this at a time where your members will be most comfortable?
I believe for us, it would definitely be more later in the evenings after work. I couldn't say Saturday at this time, because on Saturday, then those that work the entire week usually would have a lot of chores and business that they have to attend. So it would definitely more be in the evening times, but specific day, I think would more be towards the end of the week. I could get back to you all though with it.
Yeah, please. Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
will
this
see
would
what we can
definitely
do.
be nice if we could have more of the poets connecting.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Could
Thank
I
you.
could I could I have
Yeah, go ahead.
could I mention a suggestion? Maybe if it's possible, maybe on the offhand where everyone is available, in the case we can get them during the week, then maybe we could do a session pre-recorded, and then when you have your actual airing of your show, then you could probably air that that podcast. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
What he was explaining, Kieran, before you came on, is that this is actually like the pre-show. Then they will do their edits and then post this out to the group.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Except we don't edit at all.
Mm,
But it is recorded and we put it out as his.
okay,
So we don't edit.
okay, understood.
We put
Okay.
like a beginning intro on it and we put an ending on it, but we don't edit anything you do or
Okay.
say.
No, what I meant by that, I thought like maybe it wouldn't show the way we're looking at it, where we're seeing everybody at the top. I was thinking that it was showing only the person you brought up front at the time
No,
to say the poem.
Yeah, just show people at it both ways. It will work both ways.
Okay, all right.
It works. We don't want to interfere with the flow at all. We just want it to be very as his, real.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, we don't do too much. We don't do any touching up or anything like that. No.
Raw.
What you
Yeah.
get is what you have done. You know, what you see is what you get.
All right.
Yeah, Courtney, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank you all for coming out and being with us on the Real Stuff podcast. It was a pleasure having the Belizean Poetry Society with us. And, hoping to be here, with you again soon. And, and we're having our plans to get a Caribbean poetry, show going. So look out for that in the future. So thank you on behalf of the Real Stuff podcast. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You lead us to full. You belong far away away. Ajuguala lebo buseru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know I said me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight. Me have to take away myself. I have to take away myself. I have to utilize I will.